Hi everybody, my name is Justin Clark and I run the Equifactor Equipment Troubleshooting Program for Taproot. We're going to talk about what Equifactor is and why you shouldn't be afraid of it. So Equifactor is the equipment troubleshooting methodology within Taproot to help us understand why a piece of equipment failed. A lot of times an incident or an accident or some event adverse to quality has some equipment failure involved in the mix, and Equifactor is our tool to help us really understand what happened with that equipment failure. And so it's not anything crazy engineering technical. You don't have to know any formulas. This is your framework to ask, just like in the rest of Taproot, the same questions an expert in that technical area would ask, so you can get the same answers even if you're not an expert. So we'll walk through a couple examples and see how easy it is to use. So our first one is a pump failure. We have 4 pumps running in parallel. They all went through an overhaul and were put back in the system. They all passed their operational tests except for one pump. This pump is giving us a lot less flow than it should, and we need to figure out what's going on here. So this pump 1D is giving us problems. The rest of them are running awesome. All of these pumps are pulling water from the same place and pushing it to the same place. They each have their inlet and outlet isolations in case we do need to work on them, and that check valve there is just to make sure water goes one way. And this may not seem like a very complicated diagram, but it's enough to help us ask all those same questions that the experts would. We're trying to understand what happened here, and in Taproot that always happens in our SnapCharT, and so that's where Equifactor lives. Now at the start we need to have just a quick timeline of events, and for each one of these pumps they were taken out of the system to do their periodic overhaul that they're required to do. The repair shop overhauled the pumps, the pipe fitters reinstalled the pumps, and when maintenance conducted the performance test, 1A, 1B, 1C all worked great, but 1D had only 70% of the required flow. So we need to figure out just what's going on here. What do we need to look for before we go take this pump back out of the system? And so there's a few places we can go to learn these questions. This is going to be in your SnapCharT in the Equifactor piece on the Techniques tab. You can pull up your cell phone and go to the Taproot mobile app, or if you have the Equifactor book, all of these tables are in that book as well. Since I am not a pump expert, I'm going to sit down with one of my expert operators from my company. They may not be a pump expert, they're very familiar with this equipment though. And so we're just going to step through the questions to narrow down what we're looking for. First, we know this is a pump issue. I asked my operator, hey, what type of pump is this? What are we working with? Oh, it's a centrifugal pump. And that's the table we're going to walk into. Now when I open up this list, there are quite a few symptoms. There's a lot of things that can go wrong with a centrifugal pump, and the one we're looking at here is insufficient capacity. The pump isn't pumping enough water. Now if I see multiple symptoms, like the pump is also overheating or I'm burning out bearings really quickly, then I will also look at those for the same failure. Here we just have a simple loss of flow, and that's all we're looking at. So with my operator, the next step is to open up that symptom and look through all of the possible causes to figure out what do I need to look for here for this pump failure. And you step through one by one asking, is this a possible cause? And so our first one is the clogged suction filter or strainer. Is it possible that in this situation we have a clogged suction strainer leading to loss of 30% flow on this one pump? What do we think? If that strainer is clogged, all of the pumps would be having issues. So we know that is not a possible cause. And so we mark it off and move on. We never need to look for this because it doesn't apply to our situation. Now we go to the next one. Is it possible we have a damaged suction line? Well, we would either see a huge puddle on the floor that's growing at that rate, or we have a huge dent in the suction line. My operator is going to tell me really quickly we don't have this huge kink in this big suction line, so we can cross that off as well. Now in the same diagram, is it possible that there is a discharge valve that's partially shut? Maybe it just wasn't opened all the way and we need to go check that. So we're going to add that to our troubleshooting plan. Now most operators are going to have already checked this, but just in case we're in a really stressful situation, we want to make sure that we check it for sure. It'd be really embarrassing if we took this pump out and we weren't able to gather that data, if we just missed something simple like that. So we want to make sure to check it. Now you're going to do the same thing with all of those possible causes, and in a few minutes you're going to narrow down everything for every insufficient capacity down to what applies here, what we need to check here. And you can see all those shapes got added to our SnapCharT, and this is our troubleshooting list. Easy as that. So now we need to build out our basic plan on which ones we need to gather first. And we see all these ones on the left. There's some that we have to check first before we go on to the next step. Otherwise, that data is going to be lost. So we want to make sure that we put the valve line up first. We want to check the rotation direction. And then I need to give my operators a specific step-by-step work instruction. Here is when we need to check for them. Here's when we do them first. And then when they go to troubleshoot the pump, they'll step through one by one until they find one issue or the multiple issues that may be happening to prove exactly how this pump lost its flow. And now we have proven what happened. We now know exactly how this one pump lost its flow, and there's nothing else. We did our due diligence, we dug as deeply as we need to, but we found the issue here. So we add that to the SnapCharT, and while most of the other root cause analysis systems would just stop there, flip the impeller back around to the right direction, and probably discipline the overhaul mechanic and have them retrain everybody because they made the mistake, we want to figure out what led to that mistake. And so the rest of Taproot will help us do that. But just for the piece of Equifactor, it helped us figure out what led to this equipment failure, or what the equipment failure was. So that's really great, Justin. And if I have those equipment tables already built, I'm good to go. I can solve all of those, but you don't have my piece of equipment. What do I do? Well, there's lots of good ways to go about that, but the first one you should look at doing is just to build a custom table for your process equipment. If it is highly customized, you probably have experts that know a lot about it, and they can build their own tables so your organization can build that knowledge and learning and expertise for your equipment that nobody else has. And there's lots of different ways you can use that information, and there's an article up here that will really walk you through how to use that in your organization, but it's a really simple process. In those same Equifactor tables, you can download the template to build your own. You'll get an Excel spreadsheet that has all of the standard tables down in that existing tab that shows you how you need to build them and kind of the format. You can see here it's nothing super complicated. It's usually pretty easy. Now, and we love this equipment. We want to make sure we take care of it properly and that we don't miss anything when we're looking. What are the assets that we care most about in life? It's not anything about equipment in a power plant. It's going to be our families. And so one of the tables I really like to use and build is a table for troubleshooting just why is my child crying? I am not an expert in children crying, but maybe my wife is, and she can build me tables to help me just, hey, figure out why this poor child is crying. And so, in just a few steps, the expert information that you have, you can build through, and now, hey, if mom needs to go to the store and dad is the operator while she's gone, I have a quick checklist to run through so I don't miss anything basic and cause all kinds of problems. I can restore just normal operations and happy people as quickly as I can with all the expert guidance. And if we need to get really specific with how to troubleshoot some of these things, mom's gonna tell me exactly, here's what a wet diaper looks like, here's how you check for a soiled diaper. And you can see this is a pretty cheesy example, but this is how our very technical and global organizations use Equifactor for exactly the same things. How have we seen this piece of equipment fail before, and what do we need to do to troubleshoot it? This is a tool to give your operators the guidance they need to answer those questions so we don't miss anything that we've seen at other sites. And once you build that table, you're going to send it to your admin. They're going to go to the admin tab of the software. They're going to open up the Equifactor piece and upload the template. Now, not just me, but every other new parent out there that has no idea what to do about a child crying has access to that expert guidance right here in the light bulb that tells them, hey, now I may need to change this and customize this for different plants and different locations, but the general ways to troubleshoot a child crying, when we go through, hey, I look for all these things and I don't find it, that's when I need to call somebody that is in the technical support organization. Standard tables and custom tables. Two pieces and the most commonly used pieces of Equifactor, but there is a lot more here to do simple and complex troubleshooting. And all of this, at the end of the day, helps us understand what happened with our equipment failures. And then, for every piece after that, we go through the root cause analysis process with the rest of the Taproot system. So, if you want to learn more about Equifactor, there's quite a few ways to do that. First, go to the Equifactor website, go to the Taproot blog, go to some of our webinars that are posted on YouTube on our channel. We're all over social media. The next step is go to an Equifactor course. We have quite a few courses that we can hold either at your facility, and we even have an upcoming virtual Equifactor course So I hope to see you at one of these, and thanks for watching.